Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the previous video, we have answered the first chapter of Chemistry, Chemical Reactions and Equations, Unit Test 1. In today's video, let's answer the Unit Test Paper 2. So let's move on with the questions. Question number 1. Respiration is an dash reaction. So respiration is a dash reaction. Options are combination, neutralization, exothermic reaction, endothermic reaction. So we'll see what kind of reaction is respiration. So respiration is an exothermic reaction. So when we respire, heat is liberated, so that the answer for first question, respiration is an exothermic reaction. Option C, exothermic reaction. So we'll move to the next question. Question number 2. The substance which prevents oxidation is called. So the substance which prevents oxidation means which acts against the oxidation. So that is options: antioxidants, B, reactants, C, products, D, mass. So the substance which prevents oxidation or which acts against oxidation is antioxidants. So option A, antioxidants is the answer. So we'll go with the question number 3. What is displacement reaction? So we'll see what is displacement reaction. So displacement reaction means a reaction in which more reactive element displaces less reactive elements. So the reaction in which more reactive elements displaces less reactive element is called as displacement reaction. So we'll move to the question number 4. Give reason. Potato chips manufacturer fill the packets of chips with nitrogen gas. You have to give reason or you have to state the reason why. So when the potato chips are packed, during the packing, the manufacturer fills those packets with the nitrogen gas, or the potato chips packets were flushed with nitrogen gas also, you can say. So why? What is the reason that potato chips manufacturer fills the packet with chips nitrogen gas? Answer is because to avoid oxidation reaction. You can write it either to avoid oxidation reaction, or you can also write it as to avoid rancidity. Both are one and the same. So when they undergo oxidation, so the food made up of oils and fats, when they undergo oxidation, their smell and taste changes. That process is called rancidity. So to avoid this rancidity, those packets of food made up of oils and fats, they are flushed with nitrogen gas. So we'll move to the next question. Question number 5. So next question number 5. What is double displacement reaction? Give example. So we'll see what is double displacement reaction with an example. A reaction in which there is an exchange of ions. So the exchange of ions takes place here. The reaction in which there is an exchange of ions between reactants to form a new compound, that is called double displacement reaction. So where the exchange of ion takes place between the reactants to form a new compound. Okay. So we'll see an example. Sodium sulfate Na2SO4 plus barium chloride BaCl2. Here the exchange of ion takes place. Sodium and chlorine ions, like sodium sulfate becomes barium sulfate and barium chloride becomes sodium chloride. So the exchange of ions takes place here. So that is nothing but double displacement reaction. Okay. So we'll move to the next question. Question number 6. Give an example to show that change in temperature occurs during chemical reaction. So you have to give an example to show or to represent the change in temperature during chemical reaction. So we'll see the answer. When quicklime is added to water. So quicklime, it is a limestone. When it is added to the cold water, okay. So when you add limestone to the cold water, it reacts. So when limestone reacts with the cold water, it forms a slaked lime. So slaked lime is nothing but calcium hydroxide and it releases energy. This energy will be in the form of heat. So when you touch that container, So where the limestone added to the water, cold water, after a minute you can see that after a reaction, that container where you have added the limestone with cold water, it becomes heat. That means to say the reaction takes place to release or liberate heat. So that is the example to show that during chemical reaction heat is liberated or change in temperature has been taken place. So CaO with equation form you can see CaO, it is quicklime or limestone you can say, with water, cold water, CaOH twice. This is calcium hydroxide or slaked lime plus liberation of heat energy. Okay. So we'll move to the next question now. Question number 7. What type of reactions are represented by the following? Here A and B, two sub-questions is given with equation. C plus O2 gives rise to CO2. So this is one type of reaction. B, NaOH plus HCl gives NaCl plus H2O. This is another type of reaction. So what type of reactions were represented here? So we have to answer for this question. So we'll see. First one, C plus O2 gives rise to CO2. Here two simpler reactants combine together to form a single product. So this one you can state or represent it as a combination reaction also, or so C plus O2 combines together to form CO2. Carbon get oxidized. So it is an oxidation reaction. So carbon adds with oxygen, that's why oxidation reaction is also. You can write whether it is an oxidation reaction or combination reaction. Both are same. Then second one, sub-question, sodium hydroxide with hydrochloric acid forms sodium chloride plus water. So sodium hydroxide is a base plus HCl is an acid. So acid plus base gives salt. So this is a neutralization reaction. You can state whether it is a neutralization reaction or double displacement reaction. Okay, sodium hydroxide, here ions exchange takes place, OH, hydroxyl ions and hydrogen ions. You can see that hydroxyl ions are replaced by chlorine and hydrogen ions replaced with oxygen, so that it is a double displacement reaction also. Okay, so let's move on to the next question, question number 8. So question number 8, what is rancidity? How can you prevent rancidity? So we'll see the answer. What is rancidity? The oxidation of fats and oils when exposed to air, they change their smell and taste. The process is called rancidity. So when the food made up of oils and fats, when they expose it to the atmospheric air, they undergo oxidation and they change their smell and taste. This process we call it as rancidity. It is called as rancidity. How can you prevent the rancidity? So that is by using antioxidants. So when you add antioxidants, they can cut off the action of oxygen with that particular food items. Second one, by storing in airtight containers. You can store them without the entry of air, means airtight containers. And now one more method, you can flush it with nitrogen gas. So these are the methods how can you prevent rancidity. So we'll move to the next question, question number 9. So question number 9, look at the question. A metal strip X is dipped in blue colored salt solution YSO4. So blue colored salt solution is YSO4 and you are going to dip in this YSO4 a X metal. After some time, a layer of metal Y is formed. The salt solution formed on the surface of metal strip X. So on the metal strip X, you can see a layer of salt solution. That is, a layer of solution will be formed. A salt solution is formed over the strip metal X. Then metal X is used in galvanization, whereas metal Y is used in making electric wires. So this is a statement. Okay. On basis of this statement, you have to answer the given questions. What is the questions given? A, what could be metal X and Y? So what is metal X and what is metal Y? You have to answer. Name the metal salt YSO4. What is this YSO4? You have to answer. And what type of reaction takes place between X and YSO4? then you have to write a balanced chemical equation. So we'll see. Here the question, a small hint is given. You can find it out. Metal X is used in galvanization. So then metal X is used in galvanization means you should be aware of that. For which metal we are going to do galvanization. Okay, so that is one small hint. And whereas metal Y is used in making electric wires. So we know that in electric wires what kind of metal is used. Okay, so these are the two small hints for this question. Okay, so we'll answer the question one by one. So metal X is iron. So because we undergo galvanization for iron metal. So iron articles were undergone with galvanization to prevent rusting. Okay, so metal X is iron. Then metal Y, as I told, it is used in copper, that is electric wires. In electric wires, copper is used. So that's why metal Y is copper. So your first question is answered here. Then the second question, what is the second question B? Name the metal salt YSO4. So metal salt YSO4. So Y is already copper, you have mentioned in the question first. So that here you add Y, in the Y you substitute copper. So copper sulfate. So YSO4 is copper sulfate. Then next, third question, X dipped in YSO4. So as X is iron, YSO4 is copper sulfate. So when you dip iron in copper sulfate, it forms XSO4. So what is X? Iron. So it forms iron sulfate. So iron dipped in copper sulfate, it forms iron sulfate. So then the kind of reaction takes place here, it is displacement reaction. Okay. Iron displaces copper to form iron sulfate. So look at the equation, balanced equation. Fe is iron plus CuSO4 is copper sulfate and FeSO4 is iron sulfate plus Cu is copper. So this is what about a balanced chemical equation. So here one iron and here one iron is balanced. So one copper and one sulfur and oxygen 4 and 4 molecules of oxygen. So this equation is balanced. So by this you can complete this question number 9. Okay. So the last question, question number 10. So what is the last question? We'll see the last question. Draw a neat labeled diagram of electrolysis of water. See, so as every time the same question is going to be repeated, you should keep in your mind that electrolysis of water is a very important diagram. Okay, so you have to practice every time this question. So in the first chapter, electrolysis of water is very important. Okay, so draw a neat label diagram of electrolysis of water. So by this we have answered successfully the unit test paper 2. Okay, so in the next video we'll answer unit test paper 3. So till then, bye bye. Those who have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Those who have already subscribed, please watch the video, like the video, and please press the bell icon for the further notification. So thank you for watching.